I don't even know how to start this video. Something happened today. Actually, it happened 9 days ago, and I am just beside myself. I'm not sure how I feel. Let me get into it. I'm sorry. I'm kind of all over the place. So, there's a content creator whose name is Justin Bennett, and I think he also goes by the Witch of Enchantment. He has created a hashtag to create community, to help us all find each other. So he made that video 10 days ago. And how I was mentioned. Let me just say that right. I was mentioned, but let me roll it back a little bit. I first saw that divination witch. I was seeing her video answering these 10 questions that Justin had put together in the video that he created, which I will link to in the description below, for this hashtag that he created. And then Justin's video came up after that. And I went to the description. I see my name, or the channel's name, tagged right alongside that divination witch. I was at work, so I had to keep it kind of together, but I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Thank you. I'm going to be like I said, I'm going to be tagging him down below, and go follow him. I really enjoy his content. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the 10 questions that he came up with. I'm going to answer them. So let's get started. How did Hekate first enter your life? I've shared parts of the story before in some of my other videos, but it was the end of 2017, and at this point I had stopped calling myself a Christian. It's like 2 years prior to that, and I'd been really kind of separating myself from all of that. But I was still seeking, and at the end of 2017, I lost a job that I really loved, and I had to move in with my parents. You know, as a grown adult who has raised children who are out of the house, it was challenging. It was very, very challenging. And that's when she came to me. First, it was just like her name popped up into my head, and I've said this on other videos before. The only time that I had heard her name was in one, maybe two episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day, when you had to wait, like when it was actively being aired. That is the only time that I had ever heard her name. And if you've seen that episode specifically, she's not, her name just kept popping into my head. And so I decided to, get on the internet, as one does, and try to look her up and see who she is and what that means and all of that stuff. So I came across Cindy Brennan. At that time, she had a Facebook group. She doesn't have that anymore. And I'm really glad that I came across Cindy Brennan, because up to that point, anything that I had searched and came back on YouTube were all of these videos on how she is scary, how she is not for new witches, and I considered myself a new witch at the time, how if you don't know what you're doing, she's going to ruin your life, and don't do it if you're new, because she's for advanced practitioners. That was literally all the videos that I saw, all with the same message. So of course I'm freaking out. Like, why would I hear her name? Why would it just randomly pop up in my head when I haven't watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer in like more than 2 years, right? So it's confusing. So then I came across Cindy Brennan. This is before she wrote Keeping Her Keys and all of that. And that really helped me kind of understand what was going on. So that's when she came to me. And it was also right before my dad got sick and lost him a year and a half later. So this was the end of 2017. My dad died January 2019. So she showed up right as I lost a job that I really loved, had to move back in with my parents, and I was also going to school. So I was really in a liminal space and about ready to experience the most devastating grief I have ever experienced to that point and to this point today. So she showed up right before all of that happened. So, question number 2: what aspect or epithet of Hekate do you connect with the most and why? So, I've got 2. The first is Soteira. I think I'm saying that right, which is savior. And that is really how I like connected with her in the beginning, because deprogramming and decolonizing and everything, my practice. But now, where I am today, and with everything that is going on in the world, it's Brimo, the terrifying, the wrathful. That is the energy that is like burning inside of me right now. So that epithet right now is the one that I am really connected to, is Brimo. Question number 3: how do you honor Hekate in your daily or monthly practice? I don't have really like any formal thing that I do 95% of the time. So it's basically just speaking with her, praying, if you will, but it's like a dialogue that happens throughout the day for me. When I remember that it's the dark moon, I do a dipnon. I would love to be able to have a brain that remembers to look at the moon calendar to know when dipnon is, because I really enjoy that whole ritual when I remember to do it. That's the truth. So, number 4: do you have a dedicated altar or space for her, and what is on it? So, you can see back there, that is my altar, and currently I've got some candles going. I got her some flowers. There's various crystals back there, incense holder, and some other little tchotchkes. I've got some keys, and I've got like a snake candle holder back there. So that's all that's on it right now. I cleaned up some workings and stuff, but that is also a working. So, and I've got her statue back there. There is a piece of stone that was cut in half, and it looks like a dog in the middle of it. It's really interesting. So that's on there for her. So, number 5: what offerings do you most enjoy giving Hekate, and what do you think she enjoys? That's a very interesting question, because the offerings that I have given her are not necessarily enjoyable. Like my grief, I have given her, and still do sometimes give her, my grief. Like when my dad died. Grief is not linear, it is cyclical, and even though that happened in 2019, there's still days where it hits me out of the blue. So I give her my grief. I also have been giving her my fury, my rage, my anger. So I give those to her as well. Other than that, I've given her chocolate and red wine, dark chocolate and red wine. Last dipnon, she wanted garlic and honey. Like, put the garlic in the dish and drizzle the honey on the garlic. So that's what I did. I'd never done that before. But I've given her like just a regular head of garlic. I've given her pomegranates when they're in season, a lot of things. But mostly it's either my big feelings of like grief or rage, or red wine and dark chocolate, or whatever it is that she tells me she wants. Like those flowers back there. I saw them and I'm immediately thought of her, so I bought them and brought them home. Okay, so number 6: has Hekate ever appeared to you in a dream, vision, or a moment of crisis? There is one time specifically that I remember seeing her. I am more of a feeling person rather than a seeing person. Like I will feel spirits and I will feel her energy, but as far as like visually seeing her, very rarely. But this one sticks out in my mind. I was doing meditation / journey. This is when I was part of the Kavina Institute. I can't remember specifically what the theme was, but it was a collective journey / meditation. And we were in the forest. She was standing next to me. I can't remember the specifics of our conversation. And then Artemis comes up, and anyway, that's as much as I'm going to say. That just stuck with me, and that was several years ago. But when I'm going through crisis, I feel her more than I actually see her. So, number 7, what lesson has she taught you that changed your life? That's a big question. I'm going to say right now that learning how to be sovereign, how to be like my own person. And what I mean by that, I'm going to try to explain it the best that I can. Like, I am in the process and have been over the last couple of years of stripping away, like, all of the things that we are programmed with from when we are little children, on the proper ways to behave, the proper ways to do things, the proper, you know, societal expectations. Because as a neurodivergent individual, that has been really challenging and a very painful part of my life because I've never really fit in. I've masked a lot to try to fit in because that's what you're supposed to do. So the lessons that I have been learning the last several years is to be my own person. I have strength inside of me. I do not need to depend on anyone for validation or anything, really. So I think that is the biggest lesson that I have learned, and I continue to learn, is how to stand in my sovereignty and in my own power. That's the scary one. So, question number 8, how does your queerness or identity influence your devotion to her? So, identity, I'm a cishet woman. But because I have always kind of felt like I didn't fit in, the fact that she is the protector of those on the margins and in the liminal space, and that's where I felt like I have always existed, for lack of a better way to describe it. It really does influence my devotion to her because I finally feel seen. Okay, emotion wasn't supposed to be happening. She makes me feel seen and loved exactly as I am. Exactly. I don't have to follow stupid rules. I don't have to, perform anything. She called me and accepted me and loves me and protects me for exactly who I am. I do not have to mask. I do not have to pretend with her. And for that, that is why she has my devotion and will always have my devotion. So, question number 9. What is your favorite Hecatean ritual, spell, or sacred tool? That's a super good question. I think for me, my favorite, I don't necessarily call them spells or rituals, but maybe they are when I am just like, I'm sitting at my altar and I'm just there with her in that moment. And that is my favorite. When anything that I do and I can feel her there, it's amazing. It doesn't happen all the time like that. So those are my favorite times when I'm doing rituals, spells. And number 10, what advice would you give someone just starting on the path with Hekate? Read about her. Learn everything you can about her. There are a lot of good books out there. I really like Cindy Brennan's book. So just read everything that you can and then go from there. Your practice is your practice. Your relationship with her is your relationship with her. Your practice and your relationship with her is not going to look like mine. So you don't have to. So I said read and learn about her. She likes that. But at the same time, kind of forget about it. And she will guide you. She will guide you. And if you're new, yes, she is for you. If you feel called by her, she is calling you. I don't care if you have been a seeker for 5 minutes. If you feel her call, then she is calling you. That's all I have to say. And she will come to you in whatever form you need her to be. Like for me, when she first came to me, she was very motherly, right? Strict, yes, And it's, you know, it's not like if you don't do what she says, you're going to get a spanking. But, you know, when you fell down and tripped over a cord that she told you to watch out for, she's going to look at you and be like, I told you to be careful. And you didn't listen. Just learn about her. And if you meditate, meditate on her. And that's when I like see and feel her the most. Those are my answers to Justin's questions. So I hit stop instead of unpausing. So I really don't have much more to say. Those are the questions that he put together for us to answer. And I am just still like stunned and amazed and humbled to be tagged in his video and along the likes of like that divination witch, Leanne Smith, Arcanum Darklight, Essence of the Moon. Like my flabber is gasted. So on that note, you guys, be sure to subscribe first. Hit the notification bell so you know the next time a video comes out. I have not turned on my notifications, which is why I missed this mention 10 days ago. So turn on the notifications so you know the next time a video comes out, and may Hecate's torches forever light your path. We'll see you next time.